Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about lasers on your handgun. So let's get rolling. So first and foremost, if you're going to put a laser on a gun because you have failing vision, some type of eye disability or just old eyes and there's just no way you can see the sights anymore, then by all means you got to do what you got to do. Let me remind you, the two most important fundamentals when it comes to shooting is trigger control and aiming. Aiming, you know the thing with the rear sights and the front sight focus, side alignment, sight picture, that thing? Yeah. Well, what happens when you put a laser on your gun is it becomes more of a handicap than an aid. And all the training of all the students I've ever had, I've never once seen the laser actually improve their aiming. Think about this. When you learn to aim a pistol properly, you quickly find that front sight and find that front sight focus. I weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. It's a clear-eyed answer. The fact that yes, in a compromised position, you may be able to get a more accurate shot is in no way enough to outweigh the fact that, again, the fundamentals and the skill set of having the ability to use your sights and aiming, which is perishable, as that diminishes, for the trade-off of being able to possibly have a more accurate shot in the 1 in a million chances of a compromised position shot, it makes no sense whatsoever. Remember this very important concept, and that is that the fundamentals are never surpassed, ignored. There's no way around the fundamentals. It's like building a house. That is the foundation for shooting. Nobody, I don't care what their resume or skill level is, ever surpasses the fundamentals. They simply have a mastery of the fundamentals. All the best shooters in the world master the fundamentals. So again, as we go back to the fundamentals, aiming is one of those key fundamentals. And so to take that skill and say, no, I'm going to put a device on there which I am no longer going to use properly for the little advantage that possibly I can see that in a compromised situation, is never a fair trade-off. I would much rather see a shooter spend the money, the $80 to $300, whatever the cost is, for that particular device that you're going to put on there, and actually use that for training, for ammo, to actually practice shooting from compromised position without a laser, to get good with your pistol in any situation. Bottom line is, anything that's battery operated, Murphy's Law, it's going to go down at the worst possible time. And now you spend, let's say you put 10,000 rounds downrange with this laser. And of course, during those 10,000 rounds downrange, you may have gotten very good with the laser, but you've certainly gotten bad with aiming. And so now when we need it most, that device goes down, and now we have to go back to a method that we never use anymore. So that's the bottom line with that one. Spend your time with actual training and using your firearm, work on compromising position shots to get better at it without the laser, and it will pay you dividends long term. Alright, and the last point I want to make on this one is, I know that you see Guns and Ammo TV, or you read articles, and you see experts going around corners and turning the laser on and off, or lights on and off. You have to understand, this takes thousands and thousands of hours. This is why we're professionals and why we're experts. I spend more time on a certain discipline, whether we're talking about something simple like transitioning from a pistol to a rifle, or whatever the case is, low light conditions, than most people spend at the range just shooting the fundamentals. So to take an average person and say, oh here, throw this laser on your gun, and you're going to be able to navigate corners and hallways and turning lasers on and off under stress, is just a ridiculous concept. It takes tons of training to get that accurate. So to conclude this whole deal, hopefully that you spend your money on something better than being super ninja, on some competent training, or just putting rounds down range and learning to effectively use your weapon system rather than trying to rely on a battery operated device. I hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. Feel free to comment, but don't fight. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.